Sometimes I feel like this is what they're envisioning in their head. I'm here with my black market. Hey kid, you can't be installing that, don't you know? And let's fucking trans you up, kid. Let's be honest, this is what they think. This is what they envision. Hello. That's a New York teacher forced little girl to change gender, which led to suicidal thoughts. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves at first is, how can a New York teacher force one of their students, ostensibly, to change their gender? That's not really something a teacher can do. They can't. There's no way. Like, I don't know how a teacher would force somebody to do that. Don't start. Okay, cool. But secondly, which led to suicidal thoughts. Well, let's ask ourselves, where did these thoughts come from? What is creating these thoughts? Is it just now, if you're a Tim Pool viewer, or maybe you're a conservative, you think, oh, well, that sentence reads perfect for me. A teacher made somebody be trans, and by that fact, they became suicidal. Even though we already have statistics, we have studies to show that the reason for depression in trans youth, in LGBT youth as well, is because of societal backlash, societal unacceptance. We already know this. This is rather obvious. Like, if your parents, if your family, if your community doesn't accept you as being gay, you're probably going to be much more depressed, and the chance of you falling under suicidal ideation is rather high, is predictably high. That just kind of tracks. That just makes sense. If you're marginalized like that, if you're in your own community. So but let's hear him out. Let's hear. I'm gonna open another window now to get ready to start trying to find the context behind this. But let's get started. I've done enough rambling. Let's just get started.
I want to jump to this story.
Oh, why are you so loud, Tim? God, I have to turn that on my headphones, and I'm turning it down for you guys. Okay.
From the Daily Mail. New York teacher manipulated fifth grade student into changing gender without parents' consent, which drove her to consider suicide, lawsuit claims. It was only after the girl 9 drew suicide.
We are already, what are we, 14 seconds in, and I'm already like, and it's already like, it's right there, Tim. It's already, I can already see the writing on the wall, because it's lawsuit, which means, how much do you want to bet? I am willing to bet like $5 that this is going to be a lawsuit brought on by a conservative parent who is not supportive, or is not somebody who would validate trans identity of their own child or anybody's child, and are blaming the teacher for being a safe haven for that child to express their identity. Just a guess.
Suicidal images that her parents found out. Teacher Deborah Rosenquist was calling her Leo and using he/him pronouns. Superintendent Jennifer J. Quinn,
also known as manipulated, is in quotation.
Anna Marie V. Skjov admitted they knew about Rosenquist's antics. So we'll just look at this.
I just want
so weird.
to yell. Whoa, I'm.
What's what they did? Duck face with blue hair. You fucking losers. You fucking prudes. Oh my god.
So surprised
of my lungs.
Are you surprised that that's what she looks like, you guys?
But think about this. There is a little girl who knows and believes she is a little girl, and the teacher keeps saying, "No, you're a boy, and your name is Leo."
I want to make this really clear. Just in Googling, to find this article, it's Daily Mail, Fox News, New York Post. It's all the same right wing. It's all the exact same right. Okay, here we go. Wait, this isn't. That's Substack. Okay, wait. Can I read this person's thing if it's Substack? Let's see. Okay, nope, I can't. I'm not allowed. Anyway, let's continue. We'll just continue.
Such distress that the 9-year-old contemplated suicide. Mm-hmm. It's almost like these people are demonic, and I say that figuratively, not literally. I don't believe in demons.
I just don't think.
Or I guess you can call some things demons.
I just don't think adults should have secrets with a 9-year-old from their parents, right? The fact that she's not saying like, hey, your kid is expressing some confusion about their gender or whatever. Like, if that happened in your classroom, go immediately to their parents. You're an adult. You shouldn't have secrets with children.
But what if, do I need to say it? What if their parents aren't what if their parents are already like, either have already expressed like anti-trans or anti-gay, views to either the kid or the teacher is well aware of their conservative values? Then what?
100%.
It's so obvious. I just don't understand. Like, why is this even a question? And then this idea that like, oh, well, their parents wouldn't be accepting. Well, maybe it's because they're 9 and you're a stranger.
And you don't have any right to tell a kid what like you said, if it will be accepting or not. That is for the family. They have whatever beliefs they have. That is for the child and the parent. But today,
wait, what? Wait. No. I'm sorry. Go back.
Sure.
And you don't have any right to tell a kid what like you said, if it will be accepting or not. That is for the family. They have whatever.
Wait. So, okay. So let me get this straight. If somebody's kid is gay, the family is allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to them? Is that what we're going with? Because if it's up to the family to decide what's acceptable, then like what? Then if you have a gay kid, then beat the shit out of them until they're not gay. That's okay then? Is that what this guy thinks and is endorsing? Like, okay, sure.
Beliefs they have, that is for the child and the parent.
Yeah, I am using
but today, children have become the vehicles and the
Fox News
medium
will
for
make me
people
do
to
it.
project their social and political views onto.
No.
And then that way they can use kids
Dude,
in any
all these
example,
right-wing
saying,
sites
what about
all
the
want you to
kids?
turn your ad
If you don't
blocker
affirm
off.
their gender, then they're going to
God.
commit suicide. If you don't let me take them to a drag show, then they're going to commit suicide. And it's like, no. That is for the parent to decide. You do not get a relationship with that kid outside of what the parent is doing. And that is the definition of grooming. You always get these claims. I get them all the time. Oh, we're not groomers. You're calling everyone a groomer. If you're doing anything to lead a child down a path that goes against what the parent is teaching, you are grooming them. Whether
what if it's anti-racism? If the parents are racist and you as a teacher are steering their child without their knowledge to more egalitarian and less racist, a less racist worldview, is that grooming? The actual answer to that, now that I think about it, is yes, it is. Is that bad? No, not at all. Because grooming as a like term isn't actually like, we groom dogs. Everybody grooms kids. If you're a parent and want your child to hold the same values as them, guess what? You're grooming. Like, the only difference is that like when they say grooming for gay or trans rights, gay rights, whatever, whenever they are talking about grooming, what they are trying to communicate and what they are trying to draw an equivalency to is the act of sexual assault or grooming that leads to sexual assault. Like, that's what they're aiming for. Like, when they say groomer, they don't mean you're teaching a child, you are instilling a value into a child. That's not what they're saying. They're saying you're doing that so that you can sexually assault them. They've made that rather clear. So, like, stop with this, like, just say it with your fucking chest. Stop being a pussy and just say it with your fucking chest. You mean rapist. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm so fucking tired of this. Like, stop it. Like, we all know what you mean. You mean, like, you're grooming this kid for rape later. Just fucking say it. Like, Jesus Christ. Fucking cowards.
sexual, political, whatever it is, that is the definition
Political.
of grooming.
Yeah, political. Yeah.
Well, and then also, who else would we bring to these hearings, right? I remember listening to public radio in West Virginia when they had one of their, like, can you give hormones to underage children? And they're like, just listen to this brave testimony from a 12-year-old who identifies as transgender. You want to be like,
okay, so I'm going to read the article super quickly. But, okay, so started. Okay, so Deborah Rosenquist, 5th grade teacher, Terryville Road, Elementary School, Point Jefferson Station, started calling the 9-year-old Leo and using opposite gender pronouns toward the beginning of 2021-2022 school year, according to the lawsuit. Let's see. Parents say they were only clued about this happening in January of 22 when the school principal called them, telling them their child, referred to in the court papers, says AV, had drawn a picture of a girl writing, "I want to kill myself, and I feel sad like a lot," the filing claims. So, nowhere did we what's the word? Did we establish that the kid did not request this, that the child in question didn't go to this teacher with this sort of stuff? It's just, again, this is a lawsuit by conservative parents who wouldn't have accepted their kid if they were trans to begin with. So again, this is yeah, I'd love to hear I'd love to hear the nuance to this, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot.
This person is 12. They shouldn't be here. Why are they the political tool of essentially the pharmaceutical industry and their messed up parents and teachers? Like, this is crazy.
Somebody posted, I think in like Massachusetts, they have an anti-sterilization law that says that any doctor that performs a medical procedure that sterilizes a child is guilty of a felony. I think it was Massachusetts. And they're just like, how come this is not being prosecuted? Like, how come not going after people who are doing this?
That seems like one of the most obvious things that you can imagine. Like, if a doctor performs a surgery or whatever on a child without the parents' consent, they must be liable.
I think even meets with them. There are some high schools in California that have Planned Parenthoods attached to them, or they're like on campus, and they'll offer, referrals for birth control. They can't prescribe there, but they'll also offer referrals for hormone therapy or any kind of like transgender.
Yes, let's take a look. Okay, so let's see. Parents, okay. Here, I'll bring this over to here because I want to read the article really quickly. Let's see. Parents were supportive, quote, as long as it was AV who had requested the name change. So keep in mind, like a big part of like kind of the narrative is always that kids aren't asking for this themselves, that the kids in question weren't like looking for any of this, even though like most parents, especially conservative parents, are going to kind of sit there and be like, nope, my kid can't choose. My kid must have been pushed into this trans stuff, instead of it being, could have just been organic, could have been something that they were already interested in. They already said that the what's it called? I think they said like up here, that they already went to the school psychologist, that they quote was confused about her gender identity, meaning that she probably had a bit of gender dysphoria. Which like then in that case, if they went to talk to a counselor and was like, hey, I'm like, I'm kind of like not 100% on my gender identity, I'm kind of like having other thoughts about maybe I'd be happier as a, but whatever, I'm not gonna put words in their mouth, but like to then jump to like nope, the teacher just immediately took that and was like yep, they obviously pushed them into this. There's no evidence for that. There's absolutely no evidence for that. But yeah, AV's parents also became concerned when they saw complaints against Rosenquist on Facebook. Oh yeah, a really reputable website to find complaints about people. On Facebook, claiming the teacher had been reported for abuse, but the school district had done nothing about it because she was tenured, the suit alleges. Which also, again, this is another one of those cases where it's like, cool, you found some Facebook article, possibly. Also, by the way, this is how Libs of TikTok does this, by the way. But like, you find some people shit posting on Facebook looking for gay teachers or even just liberal blue haired teachers. They pretend that there's some kind of abuse allegations. Like, if you can substantiate this, then cool, we're on the same page. But doesn't really sound like there's a lot of thing. During a deeper dig into the social media comments, the parents found that Rosenquist didn't follow the school curriculum and taught her students about transgender people and told kids to, quote, try being gay or try going by the opposite gender, the suit claims. Okay, yeah, that's that. We also tell kids try being like I remember we did like an Ellis Island thing, and they were like, try being Italian for your Ellis Island demonstration thing or whatever the fuck. Educator even made her own LGBTQ book called I Am Neither for, okay, so Aiden becomes a brother. Okay, so they wrote a book that's okay. While it was the parents' while the parents were concerned by the topic, they were worried about it was being taught, right, again, which has significantly deviated from the district's curriculum. It depends on what the curriculum explicitly says. Since none of this is sussy at all, then the school probably is like, they're allowed to write a book and they're allowed to be like, gay people exist. Cool. One of the parents met with the principal, superintendent, Also, if you pay attention, also, every time they mention the parents, they always paint the parents as like, well, look, we're not like homophobic or we're not any of those things. We just have concerns, which is like, yeah. Legally concerned troll. Gotcha. Let's see. While they said it was being investigated, clearly the investigation was superficial at best. Let's see. I would absolutely love to see like how this ends up playing out. Something tells me that it's going to disappear from consciousness and kind of turn into, oh yeah, there wasn't really anything to this. The kid wanted all of this or whatever, and the teacher was just being a teacher, and all of this is just bullshit. Incredibly concerned well-being of their 9-year-old daughter, they have and will always support AV, but is worried that AV was being persuaded to be transgender. Again, like, can substantiate that, please? Yeah, the whole ordeal has caused AV to suffer humiliation. Oh yeah, there are people who are transphobic. Yeah, no shit. Yep, there are. Yep. Removed from classrooms, now teaching younger students. Yeah, probably because they were like, we're gonna take you out of the class, but we're not gonna fire you because there's no grounds to fire you. Let's see. Okay, cool. Like literally nothing. It's all speculation. It's literally all speculation. Got it.
Issue may have.
Got it.
Why would you not want to be involved in what's going on with your minor, right? I understand if that person's 18, they're an adult, and that's a different argument, but schools shouldn't be facilitating private conversations with adults without the parents' presence. That seems so obvious, and yet we just
they already do this for like kids who struggle with math.
Yeah, you're right.
With history.
Well,
we
they're
already do
introducing
this
a bill
with other
in Florida
topics
right now that would make businesses who offer payment for gender affirming care to their employees to be responsible for the detransition cost if there is regret. This was a bill that was
Why wouldn't there be? It's healthcare costs. That's like the fucking forehead, you idiot. Like, I love how it's like, oh, you get your insurance. Oh, in Florida, if you get your health insurance through fucking Jamba Juice, Jamba Juice needs to pay for your transition. And then they're like, also you're gonna have to pay, which is a medical procedure. Also, they're gonna have to pay for your detransition, which is also a medical procedure. That, like, yeah, if anything, the insurance company and like the actual company of Jamba Juice might have been like, oh yeah, we don't have that covered in our plan. So, but like, yeah, their medical. You probably, if you do one, they probably do the other one. Like, fucking idiot.
A couple weeks ago.
What?
And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because I can imagine that businesses are going to say, wait, hold on.
Make them
if
do
they
it.
regret this, if I offer them surgery, they do something that they regret, and I will be liable for their detransition.
You're already liable for their forced transition.
I may not.
You're already liable
risk,
for
and it'll be really
for nose surgery.
Respond to this.
Like, no shit.
I just think that they'll
How about this? Why don't we solve this? A percentage of your tax dollars goes into a publicly funded system that you get your healthcare from. Boom! I solved it. Now business owners don't have to worry about it.
Say, yeah, we'll do that because we don't think that many people will detransition. I think that we as a society,
considering detransitioning is like
room, but generally
super,
people
like,
are not
the pool of people who detransition is super low. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it.
Sterilization laws in Massachusetts. They're not enforcing it because they're not saying it's definitely for sure going to sterilize you. There's a chance it might. I mean, the studies are pretty clear on what the consequences of some of these interventionist, either hormonal or surgical treatments
are
for
talking
people
about?
who identify as transgender. But there's enough gray area where they're skating by saying like, well, but maybe it's helping because they're depressed or whatever else. Like, this is going to
confused.
It's going to get worse.
I don't know what
before
she's
it
talking
gets
about
better,
sterilization
right? Because
for.
the data is living in this gray area. Even though common sense tells us one thing, we have enough ambiguity in the medical.
Common sense and medicine have always told us very different opposing things. There was a time when we thought, yeah, just throw leeches on a motherfucker and like they'll be fine. Like, yeah, common sense. You do not want common sense when it comes to medical issues.
Science to deny it.
Well, if there's anything that made me believe in possession by demons, it's stuff like this.
I thought we weren't. I thought you didn't believe in demons
that we've
Tim.
seen from the woke left. The inability to process information and the rejection of fact. Now, maybe it's not demons. It's just that some people can get put in a cult-like trance, but it sure does feel like demonic possession.
It's not supernatural, but it's probably what people were describing when they.
Dude, you have a fake UFO sitting in front of you. You know, I like UFO shit as much as the next guy. I fucking love UFO shit. I just bought a whole like rack of books of UFO shit. But like, no, you don't get to do this like they're in a cult while I have a little flying saucer sitting here. Like, you bought this with your money, idiot. Like,
started calling people demonically possessed. Like, the behaviors were the same when as they were trying to figure these things out. You might call them psychotic nowadays or whatever, but like, oof. When you say evil, there are behaviors that people can engage in that will qualify them as evil because they fit the definition. The word has a definition. If you engage in these activities, you are evil.
He does realize that evil is socially constructed, right? Like with a lot of things, evil is rather contextual. Most people, and like I do mean most people, but certainly not all people, agree on what is and what is on a few things that are purely evil. And even then, there's usually qualifiers. Most people would say killing somebody is evil, right? But then you have the qualifier of like killing somebody when it's not self-defense is evil. Like anything that is just flatly evil is rather like difficult to come to without at least one or two qualifiers. So like, I hate this like appeal to like common sense where it's like, I haven't thought about it at all, so you shouldn't. And it's like, you're just kind of stupid, which fine, it's your right to be fucking stupid, but like, don't ask me to act like this. Like,
are things that you can do that are demonic that qualify as a definition. That doesn't mean that there's actually like supernatural, like 10th dimension demons.
Wait,
then why use demonic?
That'd be cool though if like there were, like
if you say demonic,
interdimensional beings, and I don't mean like
if
demons
saying
from
demonic
other dimensions. I mean demons
is you referencing like usually like biblical stereotypes and imagery.
Come out, and, they do their thing.
Call it what you want. I think it's semantics, but if there was a word,
it is all semantics.
Grooming minors into the radical left's gender ideology that has them chemically castrate.
Are we allowed? Okay, so is it okay to groom children into the radical right's racist, homophobic, bigoted ideology? Is that okay? Am I allowed to groom my kids to the right? Is that cool? Is that acceptable? Because it seems like every time you guys say grooming, it's just like it has to be it's only grooming when it's done to the left. Like, it's only grooming when you're teaching them left values. It's not grooming when you're teaching them right-leaning values.
And generally mutilate themselves.
Evil.
That would be it.
Are they mutilating themselves?
I feel like it's sad because they just prey on parents
like
who are scared.
Stabbing their junk.
Your kid is
that what's happening?
Don't do this one thing, they'll die. I mean, there are a lot of parents who would be like, I'll do anything to keep my kid alive.
But the issue is the kids are suicidal because of the teachers.
Exactly.
But that's what they say. Listen to how predatory they say to the parents, would you rather have a boy daughter or a dead daughter? Imagine as a parent, a trans daughter, yeah, when they're going in for these gender surgeries.
Okay, wait. So this guy's like never been. I've never been in any of these places. But does he actually fucking think that that's what doctors say to parents as they're going into as their kids are going into their pick up their puberty blockers? Are you genuinely, you live in a different and a much scarier universe, my guy. I don't know if this guy's ever been to a fucking doctor. He might be the poorest man in America. He's never seen a doctor in his life. I can guarantee you I can guarantee you that there are not doctors who, when parents come in with their children who have maybe gender dysphoria, whatever, and are going in to pick up to talk to a doctor, to, you know, maybe get puberty blockers, the doctor is not pulling them to the side as their kid like plays with like an anatomical skeleton or whatever, and they're not like, hey, look, we need to talk. Okay, so look, your kid might be trans, I'm not sure, but I need you to know this right now. They either go on these and then they become a boy or a girl, they become a girl, or they're gonna be dead. Like, let's just, or they're gonna die. And just letting you know, we did the research. We hooked them up to a machine. It was like, it's like a 50-50 machine. It's red, they're gonna die. Green, they're gonna be trans. So you just need to pick one. You need to pick one. There's a button we flip. That's all it is. Like, Jesus, fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck?
Consultations, they tell the parents, would you rather have a boy?
This dude's never been.
Would you rather have a dead daughter?
This dude have a.
Think about that as
Does this
a parent.
dude have a,
Think about a medical professional that you should have some trust in, saying you either have to chemically castrate your child and give them these drugs, or they will kill themselves.
Yeah.
That is predatory.
And lay on top of that, well, and you didn't know
It's
they were
literally
going
never
to this, and
happened.
the teacher had to tell you, which means your kid doesn't feel comfortable with you. Like, it's just guilt trip after abusive guilt trip. I feel sad with the parents. Hopefully, I've been.
Oh no, you're a parent with like conservative values, and your kids know that and know that you wouldn't accept them being gay or like just literally not straight, or even like, they talk about like how you could never be a girl even though, because you're a boy or whatever, but you're less happy through that and you don't want to tell them. Jeez, I feel sorry. Like, why the fuck would I feel sorry for those parents? Fuck those parents. Like fuck cares about them?
Common sense not to do this. I don't feel bad for the parents who are
fucking
like,
assholes.
This is a good idea. Let me bring my child to political rallies and prop them up as a representation of what a good woke parent I am.
Oh my god!
But I do think
because you've never seen
I think
you've never
a lot
seen
of
kids
parents
at
are scared and
Trump
they want
rallies.
to do the right thing. And I think the fact that this industry is preying on that, because that's what it is, it's an industry, is just disgusting. And I can't believe that this wouldn't be an obvious
incredibly true
point where we unite as a culture
She's
and
so
say
right.
This is bad. But apparently
the industry of healthcare is predatory. I think it's time. It's time we go for a Medicare for all system. I'm glad Tim Pool and his people agree with me. Also, by the way, they talk all the time about grooming and about taking your kids to political this or that. They do it all the time. They always want to talk about do I need to keep clicking? Like, do I really need to? Oh my god, oh boy. Oh Jesus Christ. Like, you can sit here and you can do the you can do the whole yikes. You can do the whole like, oh, liberal parents, you take their kids to political this or that. Yeah, that's not an exclusively liberal parents thing. I don't know how many of these I need to click on to make it a bit obvious, but yeah, it's not an exclusive thing. Not an exclusive thing by any means. Parents are always instilling always instilling values into their kids. The question is if those values are beneficial or harmful to society.
We can't, which is mind-boggling.
It is an industry. You trans a child, you have a patient for life, and that's a lot of money.
Yes. There's a lot of things that are actually lining up.
That's with everybody, right?
A certain synergy.
You make money off of
financial incentive
everybody.
from hospitals. You've got the ideologically possessed people that are looking to actually mess up society. They want they're ideological and want a revolution.
You undermine the structure of
what? A revolution? What does he think we're building? He is right. We are building a they-them army, but like, yeah, I guess he's right. We do want to build a they-them. Yeah, I guess he's right. He's right. We got to build up the army, build the bench.
You've got the ideologically possessed people that are looking to actually mess up society. They want they're ideological and want a revolution.
You undermine the structure of the family.
Exactly. And then you've also got a lot of your default Democrats, right? Your
what's the structure of the family
to be nice people, which is the majority of the Democrat Party, right?
This is
people
correct.
that are actually the thought leaders are the ones that are probably, the committed leftists. Your average foot soldier, for lack of a better term, is a soccer mom that just wants to do what's right for her kids,
right?
And wants to not make waves at the PTA meeting too much because she wants everyone to get along,
right?
Because they might bump into each other at the Starbucks on Tuesday. It's that stuff really has an effect on people. So the motivation or the incentive doesn't have to be some cabal that's handing out Q drops or whatever. It can be just the common
my head was very itchy
general narrative that people are believing and people trying to do what they think is the right thing.
Yeah. I think it's terrible to put children at the center.
Glad I
of
didn't
this,
pay attention because that was literally
why the left is so willing
don't
to
say
do
anything
it, right?
for like 2 minutes.
I think there are so many people who are compassionate. They realize that children aren't able to advocate for themselves fully, and they are ultimately a lot of our law looks at them as basically the possessions of their parents, which they are in a lot of respect, even though they are people with rights. And they know that basically you get a 2-for-1 voter, right? So if you get the parent to support you, and the kid goes,
it's not political. I'm sorry, but let's be clear. I don't care if you're trans. If you're trans and you're also I don't care if you're gonna be a Republican voter in the future. I still want you to have rights. I still want you to be able to live the life that you choose for yourself. Blair White, a perfect example. I would not once think about taking away Blair White's ability to be trans, ability to live her life however she would like to live it. I oppose her politically, but I think she has full right to identify how she would like to identify. This isn't a political party thing. This is more of the This is again more of that great replacement type shit where it's if you ever bring in a voter who isn't right wing, then you are by definition playing politics or something, even though Republicans do things to reinforce Republican younger voters vote for them. I mean, they do a piss poor job of it, but still this isn't okay.
They're probably also going to support your cause. It's mass recruiting people to your side of the line, and that's terrifying because it has intense.
Do you think in their head they're thinking of
that saying
when they think
Missouri
of these surgeons? Do you think they're thinking
yeah,
they're thinking ripper docs?
Yeah, might have been a little different.
It is kind of weird that when people are living in a self-induced state of
now
misery,
I'm just thinking about it as
they want you to live in it as well. You know what I mean? They crabs in a bucket, crabs in a barrel. They don't want you getting out. They want you to suffer if they have to suffer.
Yeah, well, have you ever met, have you ever had a friend that they base their entire personality around problems that they have? And these are problems that are so fixable. They would be so easy to fix, but they get more out of having the problem and the attention that they receive from it than they would if they just fix the problem. And you have these groups that they bond over their problems. And then it's when people fix them and they leave the group, they're demonized, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird. And that's what you're seeing, I think, on a societal scale, that when you have a victim class, it's easy to control. It's easy to feel good about yourself. There's no self-accountability. There's no self-work that you have to do if you're a victim.
What is he talking about? Also, yeah, this is what I mean. Wait. Stop. Quiet. Okay, hopefully. There's no volume. I won't get who knows? Maybe I'll get struck for this. But yeah, sometimes I feel this is what they're envisioning in their head. They're like, you know, the like fucking 5-year-old comes in. They're like, do it, doc. I'm here. I'm here with my black market, penis. Fucking install it. Do it now. The doctor's like, hey kid, you can't be installing that, don't you know? And he's like, I don't give a fuck, doc. Fucking do it. He's like, okay, let's fucking get into this shit. Let's fucking trans you up, kid. Fucking, like, this is, let's be honest, this is what they think. This is what they envision. Hello. This is what they're thinking when they're like, oh yeah, this is like, god damn, like, I swear this is where their brain goes. Anyway. I just thought about that. Okay, let's go back. Let's hear this idiot talk again. Okay.
They base their entire personality around problems that they have, and them, like, these are problems that are so fixable. They would be so easy to fix, but they get more out of having the problem and the attention that they receive from it than they would if they just fix the problem. And you have these groups
what is he
that they
what
bond
is he
over
referring
their problems, and then it's like when people
what is he
fix them,
referring to? I'm like so confused what he's referring to. Okay. Tim was talking.
They don't want you getting out. They want you to suffer if they have to suffer.
Yeah, well, have you ever met, like, have you ever had a friend that they base their entire personality around problems that they have? And
you
then,
mean like
these are
a
problems
lot
that
of
are
people?
so fixable. They would be so easy to fix, but they get more out of having the problem and the attention that they receive from it than they would if they just fix the problem. And you have these,
there's
you
like
have these
a lot
groups
of people
that
who
they bond over their problems. And then it's like when people fix them and they leave the group, they're demonized, right? So it's weird, and that's what you're seeing, I think, on a society.
What the fuck is he talking about? If you're trans and then you get, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
It'll scale that when you have a victim class, it's easy to control. It's easy to feel good about yourself. There's no self-accountability. There's no self-work that you have to do. If you're a victim, then you will always have someone to blame, and you will never have to fix your problems.
Yeah, I think there are people that are so negative that
These
just complain
people
about
are so
everything, and
weird.
that person's not doing the right thing by them or whatever else, and you walk away feeling negative, and you just don't want to hang out with them again for a while. And I think we're seeing this on a mass scale, right? So if you're a young person in society and all of your friends are upset about something, and then you open Twitter and everyone's complaining and fighting, and then you look at the news and everything is bad, like, how could you not start to feel just totally blackpilled?
Thanks for watching this.
You know the thing that they tell, you know, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to film one.